you are interested in employing or leveraging AI, EAs, and indicators in the Forex market, you might have come across my channel. Hello, welcome to Mango FX, and today I have an exciting strategy to show you that you can use to become profitable in the Forex market. So this strategy involves basically 3 steps. Let me show you. The first step is direction and retracement. The second one is trend line, and the third one is Fibonacci. So this is the DRTF strategy. Now, let me show you how that works, how you can combine those 4 things together, or 3 things together, to make one strategy that can be really profitable. So right now, this is a strategy that I'm using right now, and you can see I'm currently in this 3 positions, and they are all in profit. So what you're going to do is, first of all, to determine your directional bias, which basically means the direction of the trend, right? You want to know where the market is going currently. And to do that, you have to go through the higher time frames. Okay. Or I usually use this indicator. So if you look at this indicator now, it's telling you that you have a daily, 4-hour, and 1 hour to be bearish. Okay, and if you check it out, you see that it is actually bearish, and the 15 and 30s are bullish at the moment. So we can be certain or confident to take a bearish position, because we know that the higher time frames are bearish. So let me see if this indicator is accurate. So let's go to the daily. If you go to the daily, you can see that yes, we are actually on a bearish trend. We go to 4-hour, the same thing. Okay, and 1 hour is the same thing. Okay, we are on a bearish trend. Now let's go back to 15 minutes. So since we are on a bearish trend, let me go to 1 hour. Okay, now what you do with this strategy, once you know what your trend is, in this case it's bearish for us, the next thing you're going to do is to draw your trend line. Okay, so but before you draw your trend line, you have to determine if you are on a continuation or retracement. of the market. So let me just remove all of this and redraw it, currently. Okay, so let's assume right now on this 1 hour that you met the market around this place here, where you have the red candles, okay, around this place. Let's say you met the market here. I already see that you're selling. Okay, these candles that I'm using, they are called Xmas Candles, and they use a custom method in plotting the market structure shift. So it might be different from the traditional way that you know to draw your market structure shift. So if you met the market around this place, the question is, how do you know where to begin to draw your Fibonacci? Now, first of all, you already know you are going to be opening sells or shorts, but where do you enter is the most important question that might be in your mind. So for me, what I do is, if I see that I am or on a continuation like this, I anticipate a reversal, a retracement. So this first green candle gives me an idea that I'm beginning to that the market is beginning to retrace. So I get my Fibo. So this is one of the methods that I use in determining where to enter for a sell or short. So I get my Fibo retracement. Now I've already marked my Fibo retracement into several levels. So, and if you are looking to enter into a bearish market, your mind should be focused on swing high. So that's the place where you start plotting your Fibonacci retracement. But if you're looking to enter a long position, your mind will be on a swing low as your starting point for drawing your Fibonacci retracement tool. So I'm going to place it here now at the swing high, and I'm going to draw it to the swing low, and I will draw and I'll extend it to the future, maybe or 20 candles to the future, like this. And then I'll wait. Remember, the market is around this place. Okay, this first candle green. Okay, this has not happened yet, so I'll wait for it to retrace to this area. Okay, and then I will look to enter the market. Now, this is one method of doing it. The other method is using the fractals, the custom fractals, to do it. And this is the reason why I put this custom fractals. So what you do really is you use this fractals to determine the swing high and swing low. That's why you see right here, you have this bearish fractal followed by this bullish fractal. So this can serve as your swing high and this your swing low. But before I go more in depth with that second method, let's finish with this first method of using the Xmas candles, right? And which simply means a custom MSS, market structure shift indicator. So what we have here now is this first green candle, Xmas candle, and we are looking to have a retracement, right? And when it gets to our golden ratio or honeycomb ratio, we can retrace from that to our swing low, or maybe our triple R set determined or predetermined before that we enter the trade. So I usually would go for 1:2 or 1:3. In this case, our our setup retraces, you can see that the market retraces to 50. Now 50 and 62 are the golden ratios, right? 70.5 and 79. For me, I use this as my honeycomb ratio, right? Because it just simply means you can make more money, when you use that. So, and sometimes the golden ratio can be too early in some markets. Just keep in mind that that can be, something you might encounter in the markets. And by the way, I'm using Volatility 10 index, this synthetic index, to show this. But you can use this for any asset of your choice. But I generally use Volatility 10 index, for demonstration. Now, or gold, or gold. So now, what you're going to do is we've done the directional bias or trend detection bias, and what else? Let me see. And we have determined our retracement, okay? And now we have drawn our Fibo from swing high to swing low because we're looking to enter into short. And the next thing is to determine our entry. How do we enter? So once you have a bullish candle close above, it has to close above the Fibo level 50. The next thing you are going to do is to scale down to a lower time frame. So over here, you use a vertical line to mark this bullish candle that closed above the 50. You can even go ahead and use the arrow tool to mark out the close of that candle to the future, and then scale down to 15 minutes. So this is our candle here, and this is the close of that candle. So what you're going to do is to wait for the Xmas candle to give you a market structure shift. Okay, and this is where it happened. Now, you can enter this position from here. Let me mark it out. At the close of this candle, okay, and place your stop loss at above 79. Okay, not on it but above it. Place your stop loss there. The reason why is I told you that sometimes you can enter too early from the golden ratio 50 or 62, and you can see that's the case here. All right, but if you're entering from 79, place your stop loss just above 100. Okay, so we enter here right now and place our stop loss above 79, so like so, and we can then go for 1:2. We can stop at this at the 0 level. Okay, that is about 1:1, or we can go 1:1.5 or 1:2. So let's do 1:2. So we're going to move our drawing to this place. Okay. Let me do 1:2 like this. So the market is coming down. Or you can just take it at this previous swing low, right? And that is about 40,000 points. You can make about $4,000 or $400 from that, depending on your lot size. So now let me show you the other method that you can use in case if you're not using the Xmas candles or market structure shift. This, I don't know if the traditional market structure shift will work as good as this one, because I've back tested that one, but it could it comes in later than this one. This one is faster than that one, but anyway, if you want to use fractals, this is how you do it. So I'm going to remove all of this. I'll remove these objects and let's look at that method. So what you do is use the fractals to determine your swing high. This is swing high, this is a swing low. Okay. And if you know the Williams fractals, that each fractal occurs at the third candle. So this fractal will not draw at this particular candle. It will draw after these two candles have already completed. So from here, you will see it appear here when it is already here, when the market is already here. So you have a 3 candles gap. Okay, but it determines on the period that you're using. But on the Mt5, you cannot really decide the period if you're using that, except maybe you have your own customized to determine the periods that you want. All right, but this one that I'm using right now is the regular one. So here you have your swing high and your swing low. Since you already know that your market, the market is bearish and you're looking to enter a short, what you're going to do is to do the same thing. Take your Fibonacci, go to the swing high, this bearish fractal, and draw it from there to this bullish fractal next to it, and extend it again forward. And do the same thing. Go to the 15 minutes and make sure that you have a market structure shift from there, and then you draw your take profit and stop loss, and wait for the market to reach your swing low. Okay, that's basically it. Now I'm just gonna, now that we have gone through the whole steps, let me see if we have it. So we have done direction and retracement. I told you that retracement you can use either the fractal method, or you can use the Xmas Candles method, which uses a custom market structure shift strategy in determining retracement. And then you can draw your Fibonacci, or you can draw your trend line. Okay, already the reason why I didn't talk about trend line there is because the Fibonacci already has a trend line. Okay, so for example, if you were to draw that Fibonacci, oh my, what is happening here? Let me put this here. Okay, if you were to draw your Fibonacci here, you can see the trend that comes with that. So you can count those two as one step, like this. So you can see your trend line around this place. You see this candle here, if you're using the regular candles, it's gonna be like a sell. So you can see this high is touching this high. So you're drawing trend line usually from the high of one candle to the high of the other one. So from the high of one block to the high of the lower block, or from the high of one block to the high of from the low of one block to the low of a higher block. So you can see here the trend line has already been automatically drawn for you if you're drawing your Fibonacci. You're waiting to see how that reacts across this how it reacts on this trend line, and as you can see, it broke above it. So, or in this case for us, we entered because we had this go above it and we're looking for a retracement. So we had this retrace before we entered our bearish or short. This candle was that candle you saw that was red, that long red candle, and we entered from there. So it was a retracement off of this trend line actually. So it's the same thing. If you're not going to be drawing your regular trend line using a line like this to draw it from this high to that high, you have your solid two touches and see how price reacts on it. Okay, you can just use your Fibo straight. Okay, now let me show you one more example. I think, yes, one more example. So let me use the trade that I am currently running right now and show you. So what I did, actually, I entered this trade from this place. Okay, this place, you can see this place, but this is how I determined it. So I came here, I saw this sell, all right, and I determined my directional bias by using my indicator to say, oh, everything, it was really on bearish momentum from last week. So I said, okay, let me wait for a retracement to begin to sell. So I waited for it until I got this first green Xmas candle. And once I did that, I also got my fractal, right, to give me a swing low. I took my Fibo and I drew it from my swing high to my swing low. Then I waited for the retracement to get to the golden or honeycomb ratio. In this case, it started to retrace from my golden ratio, from the golden ratio actually. So once I saw this green candle close above the 50, I marked it with a vertical line. Then I went to my 15 minutes. I went to the 15 minutes. So I marked out this high also. Actually, the close, not the high, because the high will be the week. I'm using the close. All right. And I went to the 15 minutes. That was where I determined if I could enter for a short or not. So you can see here, this is where the vertical line is, and this is where the close of the candle from 1 hour is. So I waited for this first green candle to appear, but I didn't enter the trade immediately. It was too small. I waited for a bigger candle. Okay, so I waited for this other cell to appear. Once it appeared, I placed my sell from here, and my stop loss I placed above 62. Now I did not place it above 79 because I opened 3 positions. So with my risk management, I didn't want to lose more than $1,000. So I placed my stop loss immediately above this 50, and I didn't write also, like, if it didn't work, because this was during the weekend, I said if it didn't work, no problem, I can re-enter the market on Monday. So you can see the trade is still ongoing right now, and so that's it, guys, and this is where I'm taking my profit at 0. If you look at this, you can see that my take profits are not exactly on the black line. Okay, it's a little bit above it, because sometimes price will reach there and not have enough buffer to be able to close the trades with take profit, and it retraces back on you. So I, given it a little bit a retracement offset or buffer to be able to have a successful closing of the positions. Okay, that is it, guys. Now let me see. This is all the components of this strategy. So you determine your trend or direction, or directional bias, and then you work on your retracement. Once you find the first candle of retracement, you draw your trend line and Fibonacci. Then you scale down to a smaller time frame and wait for the first bearish or bullish candle again of the continuation, and then you take your profit at your swing low, or use your triple R to take your profit, determined discretionally by you. Now, don't take my word for it. You have to test it out and then come back to the comment section and tell me whether it worked or not, and I can help out with any more examples, or that's if you think I should maybe use another asset to demonstrate this or not. And next up, I'm going to be teaching you how to trade solely using your fractals. If you want to see that video, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to be profitable just using your fractals, let me know below, and I will make a video on that. Like, subscribe, and give me a shout out in the comment section. I would really appreciate that. I'll see you guys later, or I'll talk to you later in the next video. Bye. Wish you all the best.